Coming into season number 4, we're the NCAA defending champs, but I kind of feel like we've been slightly disrespected. Despite returning 4 out of 5 starters, 3 of which are expected to go in the first round of this year's draft, we come into the preseason only ranked number 8 in the nation, and only one of our players is being recognized as a preseason All-American. We start off the season with an impressive 5-0 start, pretty much dog-walking all of our opponents except for Duke and Illinois. We come into one of our most anticipated matchups of the year, taking on the 4-1 Kansas Jayhawks, and it's a star-studded matchup going down at power forward, but this game didn't quite start off the way Kansas would have liked to see it, but for us, it was right up our wheelhouse. Right off the bat, Sam Gay working down low. He's unable to be stopped down low. He's 7'3" down there. Then Koku Mangum is out there knocking down tray balls. He's probably should have been a starter last year, but Jabri did finish the year there. Then he's throwing a lob up to Tyson Butts, who's been a great force, and then we're going back down on the classic pick and roll. 10-0 start to start off this game, and Mangum is getting to the basket, catching the body, getting the N1, going to the line, getting 3 the hard way, and just like that, next thing you know it, boys, we're up 21 in the first half, and this game went exactly how you would have expected it. We get another big win, beating the Jayhawks here on the road by 30. Tim Pace is going to be your player of the game, 11, 7, 3, 1, and 3. Looks like he won that matchup that they were raving about at the beginning of the game. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. With our 4 starters coming back this year, it was almost unfair and impossible for any of these teams to compete with us this season because we're beating the hell out of teams that nobody expects. Now here we are back at home taking on a fellow top 10 team at Gonzaga, and they kept this game as close as they could early on, but here late in the first half we started to run away with it a little bit. Next thing you know, in the second half, this game started to look like the shellacking we all have grown to know and love, and one of our freshmen, Kyle Lang, with the triple threat 3, and we're up 80-52 here in the second half. This game ends with a familiar score of us winning big, 90-69 is going to be your final here in Athens, and Mangum is going to be the player of the game, 28.6 for 9 from 3. He didn't really need to do anything anywhere else. The kid was a complete bucket tonight. Now, things would get a little interesting about 25 games into the season. Coaches poll had us ranked at number 4. Media poll had us ranked at number 2, but when you come over to the RPI and the rankings for the tournament, they have us ranked as the number 1 team in the nation. Now, we will run the table the rest of the way, and in the first game of the SEC tournament, we knock off Auburn, and then when it comes to the semifinal round, we also knock off Ole Miss, and that throws us right into the SEC championship game, and we will be taking on the Tennessee Volunteers, who are 25-5 this season versus our 31-0. Now, Tennessee will come out in this first half, and they will punch us in the mouth, and we find ourselves down 10 here in the first half. We get a ball down low to Sam Gay. He has 10 on the game. Hopefully, he can work us back into it. Now, after a defensive stop, Sam Gay on the inbound. We call for the pick and roll. We got to feed the hot man. Bolton is in the game, getting big minutes here. They go underneath the screens, looking for Gay. He doesn't roll, but he has a one-on-one against a favorable matchup. He spins baseline, gets to the rack, and finishes with the left. Now, down 5 here late in the first half. We got Beatty running the floor. He's going to kick that up to Tim Pace, and that puts us down 3. Tennessee's forced to take a timeout. Now, we know everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face, but now it's our time to do the punching as we're playing great defense here. Mangum working on the outside, trying to get to the basket. He's going to kick that one over to Bolton, who pump fakes, resets, kicks it to Mangum. Mangum going to pace. Our bigs are where we want to go, and what a dunk and one. Tim Pace with a monster slam. Now, that dunk wouldn't give us any crazy momentum because Tennessee is not going away as they run the break and they regain the lead 47-45, but we're going to play quick. Catalina's up to Butts. Butts getting to the rack. What great moves, going to the line. Let's see if he can knock down his free throw. Now, unfortunately, Butts will only go 1 for 2 at the line, so we remain down 1, but we are bringing out our press. Our press is what usually keeps us in games, but Tennessee is easily breaking this one here, and we got to try to find a way to stop these dudes if we want to win this game. We need Sam Gay to step up. We need other guys to score. Great block by Gay, but we got to get a rebound. Another miss, and they get another board, and this time we get called for the foul. Now down 2 here, about halfway done with this second half. Pick and roll action with Tim Pace. He gets to the basket, slams down home to tie it up. Tennessee regains the lead, and we're going to go right back to our bread and butter, which is the screen and roll, and Tim Pace gets to the basket, finishing over a defender. Now we find ourselves up 3 with a few free throws in this game. We go down low to Tony Baker, and he gets that one to go. Now we're up 5, and that's going to be our largest lead of the game so far, but that wouldn't last long as Murray knocks down the corner 3. Now we got Wright in here pushing the tempo like he normally does, kicks that up to Mangum, and he continues to be our best shooter this season. Now this game continues to be wild as Fisher gets to the basket here for Tennessee. He came in the same freshman class with Pace, Church, Butts, and Gay, and so we've been facing him for 3 seasons here on on College Hoops 2K8, and we got to do what we got to do, and that's going down low to the big fella, and we go up 4 points here with a minute 30 left in this ball game, and Tennessee takes a timeout. Now Tennessee trying to fight back. Murray trying to take another big three. That one rims out, hitting every part of the rim. Wright catches the board, and for once in this ball game, we're going to slow it up. Now with about 9 seconds on the shot clock, we're ready to go up, and Wright is going to take the shot, and they're going to call a foul on Murray. I don't know if I agree, but we will benefit from it. That's going to be his 4th of the ball game. I'm not sure you call that foul when under a minute left as Wright hits his first free throw. Now Wright's going to go 2 for 2 at the line. That's going to put us up 6 with under a minute left, and at this point, I don't know if it's possible for Tennessee to come back as they try to get to the basket. Great defense, great no call by Tim Pace, and that's going to do it. We win the SEC tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. We are 3 for 4 in this series so far for SEC tourneys, and Tim Pace is going to be a player of the game. What a game. 28 points, 11 for 14 from the field, 5 boards, 1 assist, 6 steals. Now going into Selection Sunday, we finally get the respect we deserve at 32-0 and jump over Arizona as the #1 team in the nation for the first time this season. And as expected, we are the #1 overall seed in this year's tournament for the 2nd straight season as the leaders of the East region. We get the winner of the play-in game, and that team is going to be the FAMU Rattlers. We already know what we expect to do to these boys out there on the court. And we get a big-time win by 40, 86-47. Sam Gay had a great game. Baker and Wright had double digits off the bench. That's huge. Our next matchup will be against St. Louis, and we win that one 90-68. Mangan and Pace both had great games. Pace had a big-time double-double. Next up in the Sweet 16 game, we took on Utah State, and that one was ugly. We win that one by 32, 106-74. Gomer Church had an amazing game. Butts and Mangan played well also. When your guards are playing that well, what can the other team do to combat that? Now back in the Elite 8 for the 3rd consecutive year, we take on Marquette. We win this one by 7, but look at the game Tim Pace had. 40 points, 9 boards. Sam Gay also had a double-double. We got double digits from Church, double digits from Butts, and that's going to set us up in Houston for the Final Four, taking on the Illini, who we beat earlier in the season. I think it was about by 3 or 4 points. It wasn't nothing crazy, but we're going to see if they changed up their game plan to have an answer for us this time. But we get off to one of our amazing hot starts. Here we are on the board running in transition. Church kicks it up to Mangan. Mangan doesn't want to force it. Kicks it out to Butts. Butts is going to knock that down. Bang. I honestly don't know how you prepare for this team if you are the opposition, because we're out here, we're doing what we want. We play defense. We can score from everywhere on the court. You name it. And we're so deep. 1 through 13 or 14 on our depth chart can get the job done. And here, Gomer Church is getting to the basket. Nobody's there. They all collapse. He's going to kick that out to Tyson Butts, who isn't really a great shooter, but he knocks it down. Now we got Sam Gay, who's been dominant for all 3 years he's been here in school. He continues that dominance. There's nobody down low that can stop him on any team. Now we go into the locker room of this Final Four game, 50-32. The ball is in our court. We have all the momentum. If we lose this game, we deserve it. But we're shooting 55%. They are shooting 52, but we are playing just a little bit better. And we will end up winning this game by 12, 82-70. We called off the Dogs a little bit in the second half, but it was still enough to get the job done. And at this point, I don't think it's fair for me to go ahead and play these games head to head, but we will be taking on West Virginia in the Natty, and I want to see if the boys have what it takes to get the job done themselves. We're going to go ahead and simulate it. You're seeing it in real time, and we get the job done. And we also coach the Defensive Player of the Year. We complete the journey. We run the table, 38-0, 16-0 in conference. These boys came through, and I would say they pretty much outshined any big-time recruiting class in college basketball history. The Fab Five never won a Natty, even though they went there. Zion and them boys didn't get the job done. John Wall and them boys didn't get the job done. But these dudes came through, and they had an impressive run, similar to that as which Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and Corey Brewer did in Florida. BordeauxCFB wins the Player of the Year. He's been one of the best players in this whole entire world. Also, mid-major Player of the Year is going to be Kellogg. We win Coach of the Year, of course, running the table. It only makes sense. Tim Pace is going to be this season's Defensive Player of the Year, steal a game, 2 blocks a game. He also averaged 15 and 8. BordeauxCFB also wins Big Man of the Year after winning the Player of the Year. Freshman of the Year goes to Clifford Orfini out of Notre Dame. First team All-Americans, looks like we are not going to have any participants there, which is kind of crazy with being that we were undefeated. And we also are missing on the second team All-Americans as as well. We get snubbed. You can't play as good as we did all year and not have anybody represent the best players in the nation. Freshman All-American, we didn't have any freshmen get any significant playing time. Most of our newer guys were going to be JUCO guys. And going over, take a look at the conference champs. Yes, sir, we got it done both in the regular season and the tournament. We also win Conference Coach of the Year, which is expected, being that we won the National Coach of the Year. You feel me? And then Conference Player of the Year goes to BordeauxCFB. He just continues to rack up those accolades. Conference Freshman of the Year goes to Gordon St. Clair. And this is also really surprising as well. We are missing on the first and second team all-conference list also. So we're the best team in the nation, the best team in our conference, yet none of our players are good enough to be considered some of the best in the conference or the nation. With that comes the offseason, man, and we're going to be sad to see 3 major contributors leave. Gomer Church and Sam Gay are both going to leave a year earlier for their senior season. Christian Wright, great backup point guard the whole entire time here, and he got the job done.